Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to go over how to tell an avoidant that they have attachment issues, attachment barriers, and so that they will be more aware, probably giving them an incentive to change. Now, of course, this is pretty requested. I'm going to go through it in steps, but understanding that the most imperative and most important step of this is building trust. Otherwise, in general, these things may create more issues than needed. And I'm going to go over that throughout. But let's go ahead with the first one, that is actually build trust with them. You want to build rapport with them. You want to understand that you and your partner at least have some foundation where they actually believe that you're a genuine person, you're a good person, you're not trying to manipulate them, you're not trying to hurt them. And I have so many videos on how to build trust and how to connect with an avoidant, how to help them get more attached and comfortable with you. So you guys can, of course, look at my channel for those particular things. But in general, building trust is the most important step, okay? And so the next step after building trust, I would say, is also very important. It is in general, when you state your perspective, especially about triggering topics, okay? This is about you being confident in yourself while still speaking very gently. So when you state your perspective in triggering topics, that you always add some form of a disclaimer, such as, it's just something I strongly believe, and I only say it because I care. I could be wrong, and I'm not expecting a change, right? You could say that. Even if it's like different views of food. You could say, I don't mind trying X, Y, and Z, but last time I tried it, I didn't like it. And I actually feel like you might like it because I know you so well. You might like if, we add this on top of it. Do you want to give it a shot? And so you're always saying, I'm claiming this is my opinion. This is your opinion. You always allow different opinions to be living in the same area. So it's almost like you're trying to show that different perspectives don't mean a bad thing. You're trying to say, I'm not trying to change you. I just think I know this about you. Or I'm not trying to impose or control you, but this is my opinion. Or I don't like this, but I think you might like this because I respect that sometimes we're different. And so you're allowing that perspectives are healthy. They add an addition to somebody's life, not that they are suffocating or controlling. You're starting to show that you're okay with different perspectives, and you're modeling that, as well as you're building trust and showing, I'm not a manipulative person. I'm a person who wants to understand you, and I want you to understand me. I care about you. That's why I tell you things, okay? So the next step, this is the next step where you are going to start bringing this in. Once trust is built and you've also stated your opinions in general with disclaimers, you can start asking your partner if you think they have commitment issues or trouble getting close to other people, right? Usually that helps individuals know. You might even say, do you think you get suffocated easily? If that works better depending on both of your knowledge with these types of things. But I'm kind of doing it as a general way where they have almost no understanding of attachment issues, which is why I said commitment issues or trouble getting close. Commitment issues is probably the easiest one where it's more palatable. You might mention that you're not trying to be judgmental. You simply want to hear their side as well as share your own side, right? So this is now collaborative. You mentioned that you're just saying this because you care, you're not trying to change them. And I think this part is really important. Still, we're on step 3, but I really want you guys to remember that the way you say it and the timing of when you say it is very important. Could be even more important than what you're saying. When I mean timing, I don't just mean building trust, even though that is one of the most important aspects. It's also, are you picking a time where they're not stressed? If you're talking about this in the middle of their workday, on the phone or over text, it might be more stressful. It might be easier if you either talk about it in person, over the phone, or by text when it's a more relaxed moment, right? Or when you're not interrupting something about them or you being in a calm mood. So those things are very important, okay? Next is, I want you to mention, or at least I think it's very important, that you believe that they may have attachment issues. So now we're in that conversation, commitment issues or whatever you want to call it. You had mentioned what's your perspective, and you want to mention if they did kind of take what you're saying palatable, they seem receptive. You might say, I think you may have attachment issues, right? I think there may be something going on. I'm not judging you. I just wanted to help you. And I think it's important for both of us to be open about our opinions. I want you to be able to trust me. And I want my opinions to also have a place and I want your opinions to have a place. So I wanted this to be a safe space. If they seem receptive to that, you might want to mention the term. You might say, I think you're dismissive avoidant, or I think you're fearful avoidant. That's the term, just in case you wanted to know. If they're not receptive, what you want to do is go back to step one and do the whole thing over again in time. So basically, you want to build more trust before revisiting, okay? Now, let's go ahead and continue if it was palatable and they were receptive. You might want to ask, are they open to reading an article, research paper, or a video made by somebody in the field? You want somebody who knows what they're talking about, a professional, and do it together. And that's more preferable, right? And you would mention, if it's not together, like if you can't do it together, you can do it by text, just send them an article or just talk about it. That's fine as well. Now, the reason why I mentioned specifically about it's more important for them if they're in the field, and I'm not judging AI or whatever, I'm just saying that most of the time, avoidant individuals are very particular about trusting people in general. As a therapist, I work with a lot of avoidant individuals, and most of them are very picky, or sometimes they're paranoid. Like for me, I'm a doctoral student. And so a lot of them might say, well, I hope you're not going to do research on me, right? Before they even meet me. Like this is something they're telling my admin team, or they're talking about it through email while we're scheduling. They want to make sure of those things. So why I mention a professional in the field, because you guys, you might be okay watching AI, or like watching AI who is just making videos, who knows who they are. That's fine, and I'm not judging, but I'm just telling you the honest truth. Avoidant individuals are much more picky. So if you really want them to understand or feel more comfortable, you want to pick somebody who is a professional in their field, or, somebody who knows what they're talking about, because otherwise they may be more put off by the subject in general. If you give them an AI video, for example, they will obviously they'll have a lot of doubts, like, who is this person? Like they're not showing their face. Like in my country, like United States, you cannot say that you're a therapist if you're not. Like it's illegal. And so if anybody is claiming that they're a therapist and they're not, that is illegal. So most people are not going to do that. And so as long as they claim that they have research in this field, they are a therapist or whatever you think, your person best, that may help it be more palatable. I'm just telling you, I'm not knocking other people. I don't personally care, but I know I work with so many of them. I know what they're like. The next one is you want to thank them for being open to you, not just this time. Of course, this time you want to say thank you for being open. Like, I'm happy you watched the video, whatever it is. I'm glad we got to do this together. I appreciate you. I feel closer to you, whatever you want to say. But you also want to say this on occasion. You want to mention, I really appreciate that, I know that, you're X, Y, and Z. I appreciate you being open to understanding these things about you. And if there's ever anything about me, let me know. Like, I want this to be collaborative. I want us to be close, and I appreciate that. You say that every now and again. And the reason why you mention this every now and again is because you want to start creating this connection between you guys where it's okay that you guys are different. It's okay to learn from one another, and you don't judge them for their commitment issues or attachment issues or whatever you guys called it, right? You want to say, basically, you want to give the narrative, I accept you. And they will start feeling that way. Now, once you had mentioned this, you want to slowly incorporate every now and again, right? You don't want to suffocate them. Every now and again, bring up this topic in a non-judgmental way. Hey, by the way, I saw a video about X, Y, and Z, or I read an article that I found really interesting, or I was looking through research articles and I saw this was pretty interesting. Is this something that you feel would make it more comfortable for you? If we do this, or X, Y, and Z, somebody did this research and there was promising results. Do you want to look at it with me? You want to bring it up every now and again, not too often. You want to be respectful, and you want to make it seem like this is just a common conversation. We're talking about having tacos for dinner, right? It's not emotionally heated at all. It's like very calm. Like, do you want to eat tacos or pizza for dinner? Hey, I saw this article. You want to look at it together, after our date? Let me know. It's up to you. I don't care either way, right? You want to make it very easy for them to digest. You can even mention every now and again, I know you struggle opening up, so I never want to push you. But if you ever want to talk about your frustrations, I'm available. I want to come across as a non-judgmental person, and this is also something to help me on my journey. And so you put it on yourself a little bit to make them feel like it's not them having to change. It's you guys as a team. It might even be you having to change some things, right? And so you're making it seem like it's not a very scary or threatening thing. And so those are kind of the ways that you as a partner can kind of incorporate more comfort towards discussing attachment issues. Now, if you want more details on how a dismissive avoidant can heal, I have a video on that on my second channel, which I'll put in the pinned comments. But I think that's very important that you guys can recognize what this feels like, right? I want you guys to have healthy relationships, and I want you both, whoever you two are, to find in equilibrium so both you guys can be happy, okay? I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.